On the paper, other areas though that are also going to be very important. When we're talking reform, I want you to see things that are coming up. We have coming up on April 2nd, we have transportation reform, which could mean $7 billion of savings for the state over the next 10 to 20 years. This transportation reform is going to do a few things that I know people have been talking to me that they'd like to see.
A little more.
Perfect. Now I can roam. This is better. Rusty, if I get too close, tell me. But for transportation reform, what we'll be taking up this week for transportation reform is combining different agencies. Right now we have the Mass Bay Transportation Authority, we will have the Mass Port, we have I'm told to move over this way, right? For Mass Highway, we're going to be combining a number of agencies, most importantly combining the Turnpike Authority, so that we have, in combining these groups, we will be able to save funds really for administrative costs and the like. But I want folks to know, we'll be doing these reforms. Part of the reform is also pension reform, so you won't have cases of people who either try to throw into their pension, they throw in a car allowance. You've heard about those cases. Or people who try to throw in a housing allowance. Or people who want to retire after 23 years, who could be my age, could be 42 and collect a pension then for the next 40 years. Each of those items we are going to address, and they will be done in the next couple of weeks. But I want to reinforce to you, first of all, when we talk about pension reform, don't pick on your teachers, and don't pick on the people locally. The average pension for someone who was a teacher in Plymouth County is $17,500 a year for them to live on. I want to repeat that again. The average pension is $17,500. It's not the people who are great public servants that you see on a regular basis who are folks who are the problem. It's a couple high-profile examples that we are addressing, and I want you all to bring that kind of story back. If people are out there and they tell you that they've lost faith because they read about a position where some state senator is getting a job for $175,000, well, that's wrong, and we're speaking out against that. That shouldn't happen. But that doesn't reflect across the board what's going on with the average pensioner in this state, and that shouldn't be a way for people to have outright cynicism. So for the different things we give to you on talking points, I want you to be able to talk back and say, look, my state representative and others are doing the right kind of things. We're doing the ethics reform now, we're doing transportation reform, and in the pensions, you'll see that discussion. One of the bills that I've filed is coming up on April 6th for anyone who wants to come up and testify. But for meaningful pension reforms, the items I just spoke about are going to be addressed. And I'll tell you, the greatest thing now, Frank, even before this hearing, I'm already having the chairman of the committee saying, your bill that you filed and I refiled to cap what people can have for public pensions is going to be acted upon. The new legislation that I filed with Jim Arcero, and Michael, you were helping as well, trying to there was an old provision that allowed someone, if they lost their position as a state representative, they could then apply and they could try to double their pension. That's going to be eliminated. There are a number of things that we're doing that are real meaningful reforms, and I tell you, I'm thrilled to be up there. And if it wasn't for your help to get me there in the first place, we wouldn't be able to act on an everyday basis and make a difference. So those are some things we're working on. Let me tell you overall the message I want.